would like to call to order this February 6, 2020 board meeting of the Bristol Borough Board of Education. Would everyone please rise and for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Slam it back. You have the solicitor trick chair. The new guy.
Okay, I'd just like to announce that the board met in executive session to discuss some legal issues and as well as personnel. Okay, so could I get a roll call for the attendance, please?
Mr. Cullen?
Here.
Mr. Poplawski?
Here.
Mr. Parola?
Here.
Mr. DeMarcus? Ms. Paglione?
Here.
Mr. Rusin?
Here.
Mr. Poliafico?
Here.
Mr. Ciccoletti?
Here.
And Mr. D'Angelo.
Here. Okay, under item 3, could I get a motion to approve the agenda with said addendums?
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion to approve the agenda as listed.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Ciccoletti, second by Mr. Cullen. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Any objections? Abstentions? Okay, that motion carries. Item 4, for public participation. Does anyone from the general public have any questions, would like to speak on anything? I'll take that as a no. And we'll move on. We're going to move, we have some guests tonight that are just going to give us a brief overview. And these are two gentlemen and a woman from U.S. Security Care Incorporated. You come on up and introduce yourself.
Good evening. My name is Chris Murray. I'm the Director of Pennsylvania Operations for U.S. Security Care.
Good evening. My name is Malika Carroll. I'm the Senior Security Advisor for U.S. Security Care.
Good evening. My name is Scott Krzwanis. I'm the Operations Manager for Southeast PA for U.S. Security Care.
Mr. Chairman, we met in executive session with the security firm, U.S. Security Care Incorporation. We met with them to discuss our security situation and for any recommendations, and we interviewed them. And you will see on the agenda tonight, we will be hiring and employing that company. Just a few remarks here. They have over 200 employees. They are in 21 school districts, okay, and they do all of the training, everything that is required by the Pennsylvania Department of Education. The list goes on and on and on. I couldn't even write down all of their qualifications. But they are local in the area also. They work in, I don't want to name the school districts that they work for, but like I said, they have 21 clients and over 200 employees. So they came and gave the school board a presentation, and if we had any questions. And I'm sure you all understand that the reason we met with them in executive session, we don't like to discuss security in public. So thank you for coming and giving us a presentation tonight.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Once again, Scott Krzwanis, Chris Murray, and Malik Carroll. Thank you for coming.
Thank you. Thank you.
Round of applause, okay. On to new Dr. Manetti, you have anything you'd like to?
I do have a few.
Yes, okay.
I do have a few. We just got to put that on there. I wanted the public to be aware that in the governor's new budget, although there is a great deal more money allocated for public education, the Bristol-Borough School District, if his budget goes through as is, will actually receive a reduction of $90,459 this year. There are only 27 schools, I believe, in the state that are going to get a budget reduction, and we would be one of those schools. So I wanted the board to be made aware of that situation. It's not a personal thing, it's the formula that they use. They've changed the formula, and in that formula, we come out on the losing end. Hopefully, it's not a continuous trend, but that's just kind of where we stand right now as we're processing the information we need in order to put a balanced budget in front of you in the next few months. I have a request to move voting machines. I just wanted to kind of put this out to the board so you are aware. I have a request that from St. Anne, it's not from St. Anne's, it's from the Board of Elections, thank you. I'm like board and I couldn't get the elections part out. The Board of Elections, they would like to move 3 wards from St. Anne's to our high school and set them up in the gym as well. We actually have our high school gym as a voting station. I asked if they would have to put some kind of divider down, because if we have school, we may have to have half the gym still open for our kids to have phys ed, and they said that's not really a problem because they don't have to have it separated out by wards. They would just add the voting machines there. So I just wanted to make you aware that that is a request that has come through my office, and I told them that I would discuss it with the board just to make sure that you were on board with that it was okay that they used our facilities.
We have two voting districts there already.
Yes, and it would be 3 more.
There'll be another, another 2?
The whole South Ward.
South Ward, at the high school.
So there'll be another 3 then, right?
There'll be another
South Ward
3.
has 3.
3 machines, yeah.
So where are we going to
Oh, they
put
only
them?
6 machines. Pardon me?
Where would we put them?
Well, let's clarify something. Rose, is this for the primary or is this for the special election?
This is the election that will be in April, April 28th.
Okay, the primary, okay. So, yeah, I mean, I've done these a lot. I always thought the machines had to be in the actual precinct, so possibly they're getting a waiver. I know that this came up before, and at the last minute, they switched and they let them. So, I mean, right now, they're asking us, and we're saying, yeah. Now, don't we usually schedule on Election Day? Isn't that like an Act 80 day, or?
It is an Act 80 day, and the only way it wouldn't be an Act, well, it's an in-service day.
Yeah, in-service.
So the only way it wouldn't be an in-service day is if we had more snow, and we had to take that day away.
Okay.
Which is why, if we had a full gym to work with, it would be, but if we have students there, we only have a half gym, so they can come in that one door and not intermix with our kids. So that's, why I had to put that specification on them, that if we did have school, we have to keep in mind that we do not have a full access to all the gym.
Yeah, this has arose probably about 15 years ago in the South Ward. There's actually nobody that wants to allow them to use their space. So then they have to reach out and they have to make sure, I guess, that, it's handicap accessible, okay? They would like to keep it in the ward. I remember 20 years ago in the South Ward, voting across the street in a office that we had to have 2 machines in there in a 20 by 10 office, and everybody was kind of packed in there. So I know that the county does provide funds, but it's not very much, and people don't want the traffic and all of that. But, we could always sit down and give some recommendations, because like you said, if you have to, close off the gym, we would have to talk about then, trying to separate those in a way, maybe in the front lobby, and then having the East Ward in another. We'd have to, I guess, meet with them, but we could accommodate them, I'm sure.
Wouldn't you have to use the full gym because of restrooms?
Well, you have the restrooms in the hallway there by
But then
the,
that's still them interacting with, if we have kids.
if
it's
we
a
have
snow-
to,
if
yeah,
it's
then if not, yeah.
Snow makeup,
Yeah,
then. the
it
kids
becomes a
will be-
little bit of planning on our part. Yeah, we're gonna have to.
Why not just move it down here?
Yeah, well, how about this school thing, we have it here?
Or St. Mark's. St. Mark's is in South Ward.
I believe, John, that they reached
If
out.
St. Anne's isn't letting them, St. Mark's the same thing.
Yeah, John, they reached out to St. Mark's when they closed the Zion Lutheran about 12 years ago, and they said no. They said no.
I'd be more, I would rather see them down here. But normally, the elementary has school that day, right?
No.
Normally the district is off that day.
Yeah.
But
For the
if we
primary?
have,
Not
for
for
the day of the primary. But if we have snow, we may have to pull that day. And that's my only concern. If we don't have snow, it's really not much of an issue for us.
Right.
I just wanted to make sure that you're okay with it, because logistically, if we do have school that day, we actually already use the school as a pole, and we could make that work. We made it work last year. there was school. But it's
Here.
adding more no, not here, just up at the high
That's
school.
why I would rather have it here, because the high school is usually, there are usually things going on up there, whether it's baseball or softball or whatever, I mean,
But they're using that one anyway. They
Right,
always use
but
it
they
anyway.
divide it. But if you add 3 more machines up there, where are you going to put them?
6 more machines.
6 more.
Where would you put the machines here? Just
Well,
because
we
I'm
could
thinking
put
where
them in
the, I'm
here.
thinking where the bathrooms are.
Put them in the
That's,
cafeteria.
you got a lot more people walking farther in the building.
So that's something we can talk about, but
You can even have it in this room. I mean, think about it.
Okay.
Well, the request was specifically for the high school, but I could speak to the elections officer and see.
who was asking for the high school?
I can't remember the gentleman's name. It is the person who's in charge of elections and the voting machines. CPR class, Mr. Rusin was asking me about that. I actually was able to get hold of Kristen from Clock Tower CPR, and she's going to give me 3 dates to work with, and we're going to come up with something that works mutually for both parties, and we're going to have all of our seniors and juniors CPR certified within the next couple months. So we're just going to make that, we're working forward to make that happen, and it's no cost to the district for them to come in and work with our kids.
Is a permission slip needed for that, from, that the kids be sent home, so the parents would approve of that?
It's actually a requirement now with the state.
Oh, is it?
That the kids become CPR certified. And it's been something that's been going on in classrooms for a long time. A lot of school districts they have phys ed teachers who are certified in CPR, and they just weave it into the curriculum. But we can certainly let the parents know.
Yeah.
And if they have something, there may be an issue that maybe they don't want them to, for whatever reason, we can certainly accommodate that. But its certification is part of the Pennsylvania regs now, that they like to see
That's
them
great.
certified.
Thank you for that.
You're welcome. PA Smart Targeted Grant, I wanted to let everybody know that we did receive a $35,000 grant through PA Smart Grants. We're going to use it for several different things. Helen Swisky is our computer teacher at the elementary school. We're sending her to training over the summer to become Project Lead the Way launch certified. Project Lead the Way is a STEM program. It has lots of stamps of approval. The last 2 districts I've worked in, we've used Project Lead the Way in our computer science programs. It's a well-done program, and it's all-encompassing. You can actually use it for computer science, engineering, all of your science needs, but we're going to bring it in specifically for computer science. We're going to be getting iPads for our little ones down at the elementary school, and there's different robots and such that go along with this program that the kids are going to be using. They're going to be learning coding from kindergarten all the way up into 6th grade, and there's different languages of coding that they're going to learn along the way. We also are sending Yvonne Gatelli, Lori Helkowski, and Roger Roth to the PDE STEM training through the state, through this grant, and they're going to help to develop an overall STEM program with me from K to 8, and then we're going to involve our high school teachers to foster that program into the high school levels. So it's going to be a very exciting initiative that we're bringing in here. We're also going to buy some equipment with that, not only the iPads and the launch, but there's kits called Makey kits, and that you can make a circuit out of just about anything. We're going to bring that into the 8th grade classrooms. We have these isobots that are coming into the 6th grade classrooms, and Spheros, which all the teachers will be able to use. We have 2 sets of those. They're those little mini droid robots, like on Star Wars, those little round ones that spin around. So what we're going to look to do overall is not only have structured computer science classes, but also have maker spaces for the kids to use and the teachers to bring in different curriculums. So, and we want to tie it into the math and the ELA curriculum in the classroom as well. So to kind of make it an all-encompassing program. So I wanted to let you know officially, I've been kind of hinting at it, but the official announcement came out after our last board meeting, so I wanted to kind of let you know where we're at with that. And we've already sent people, we've already started some of the STEM training through the state, and Helen's really looking forward to working and getting those things together at the elementary level. So we're all very excited about that. The calendar for this year, we do have to change one of the days, April 8th, which is a Wednesday. It's a snow makeup day now. That's the Wednesday before Holy Thursday. So that is in the calendar as a snow makeup day, and we did actually have a snow day that did snow. So that's the day we have to put in the calendar, so I just wanted to make everybody aware of that. I'm working on the calendar for next year. I'm going to send out some drafts for your discussion. What it comes down to for next year is that Labor Day is very late. It's the 7th, and the second Tuesday is only the 8th of June, which, no matter how you slice it, doesn't give you 180 days. So we have to make a decision on whether we want to move graduation away from the second Tuesday, or we want to come back before Labor Day. But it has to be one or the other, and it's 3 days that are the catch on either end of that. So I have developed schedules with 3 days on one end and 3 days on the other end, and I will bring them to you for your approval, and we'll take a look at it for our next board meeting, and you can kind of discuss that along the way and decide what it is that you'd like to do for that. And that's all that I have.
Okay, Mrs. Rosado, do you have anything?
Thank you.
No? Okay. Okay, so we can move on to item 5, new business.
Mr. Chairman, approve the 2020-2021 Bucks County Intermediate Unit Program and Services and Instructional Materials and Research Services budget in the amount of $2,107,422. Bristol Borough share is $13,720, an increase of $156.
Motion by Mr. Chicoletti, can I get a second?
Second.
Mr. Poplawski. Any questions or concerns about this? Chris? You want to maybe get a quick...
It's a budget that supports the operations of programs and services of the Bucks County Intermediate Unit, which provides direct curriculum, instruction, assessment, staff development, comprehensive planning, school improvement, instruction materials, research, and instructional technology services to the Bucks County School Districts.
Thank you. And if any board member wants a copy, here's a full copy that I get from the board that'll kind of show you the breakdowns. But essentially, this budget, it's $2,100,000 this year, and last year it was about $1,700,000. So the budget is actually increased by $300,000, and our share has only increased by $150,000. So for a lot of things that the district gets, that the Bucks County IU provides to many of the school districts, they provided an additional $300,000 worth of services to us all, and we only had to pay $152 or $156, so that's a pretty good deal. So if anybody wants to take a look at this, here it is. I'll leave it here, or you want to take a look, John, or no, you good? You guys good?
No, that's all right.
Okay. So with that, let's get to the vote. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Any abstention? And that motion will carry.
Item B, Mr. Chairman, approve the appointment of U.S. Security Care Incorporation as contractor for the district security services, SPO, rate of $27 per hour, effective immediately.
Motion by Mr. Chicoletti. Could I get a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Cullen. Any questions or concerns?
Now, they won't be starting right away, am I right?
No, it was maybe, we said about 6 weeks.
6 weeks.
About 6
yeah.
weeks.
Right, so,
We just want to make sure we had the approval,
Oh, okay.
because they're still going to go through the hiring process
Yeah,
and all of
uh-huh,
that. But as
okay.
soon as they can, I want to make sure that we had approval for them to start.
yeah, okay.
He also said that we could have possibly one of those if we agreed upon right away, if you want.
Yeah, well,
See
let's
if,
get them in
they
and
can
see
work
how they're
that
going.
out, what the heck.
The sooner the better.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, any other questions, concerns? If not, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries. Okay, item 6 under personnel.
Mr. Chairman, approve the appointment of the following part-time custodian positions at the rate of $12.25 per hour, no benefits as per the negotiated agreement, effective immediately pending clearances. Carmen Ayala, Jose Ayala, Olga Loren, Tim McGinley, and Joseph Swinehart.
Motion by Mr. Chicoletti. Could I get a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Rusin. Any questions or concerns? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? That motion carries.
Mr. Chairman, item B, approve the following day without pay for Jennifer D. Giuseppe, elementary teacher, March 10th, 2020.
Motion by Mr. Chicoletti. Going to get a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Cullen. Any questions or concerns? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? That motion will carry. Item C.
Mr. Chairman, approve the following days without pay for Donna Frake, paraprofessional, February 20th and February 21st, 2020.
Mr. Chicoletti with the motion. Can I get a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Cullen. Any questions or concerns? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? That motion will carry.
Mr. Chairman, approve the following days without pay for Teresa Kramer, elementary teacher, February 27th, 28th, and 29th of 2020.
Motion by Mr. Chicoletti. Can I get a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Cullen. Any questions or concerns? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Any abstention? And that motion carries. Okay, I see that we don't have anyone here from the Bucks County IU. Okay, just a couple things from the IU, though. On March 17th, there will be the Student Gallery Art Reception at the IU. I know in Bristol we'll have, certainly one of our students will be entered there. And I'll remind you again, it's still a while away, but it's really a nice thing. And we have some really good, every year, our students that submit something are some of the best ones there. And this is throughout all of Bucks County. So I will keep you informed on that. Also from the IU, I have two things here, and I can get them electronically. Again, any more you have them, but I have a hard copy. And this is something that's kind of interesting. It's state mandates. So an interesting thing to look at, and you would be really shocked at all the things that we're required to do that we don't get funding for. So there's a hard copy. Rose can get you an electronic copy. There's also something, it's a social, emotional wellness, and a school safety resource. It's another good thing that you want to look at, and maybe, Rose, you can send this out to them, because it'll help you kind of familiarize with, you're going to have more questions for the security services. Really goes in depth about all that training, and it is kind of confusing about what we can actually use grant money for. And again, as I was speaking to you guys earlier, the grant money is probably going to dry up, and that's good. So that's going to go from a safety resource to a state mandate where we actually have to pay for it ourselves. So when we work on the budget, Mr. Chicoletti, we're going to have to try to expect that maybe we're not going to get that money next year. We're still going to have to ensure that we have safety in our school. So
Good point.
that's from the IU. Let's go around the horn now. Mr. Collins, is there anything, any questions?
Yes, I just want to say that I think high school looks really nice, all lit up. I think the lights around the school, you can really see. I mean, years I've been driving by there, it's always been like real, dark and stuff. It really stands out now, and it's, I think it'll stop anybody from, going into school or whatever. But it really looks nice, I guess, with the new LED lights and stuff. It really looks really nice out there. That's all I have. That's all I have.
Reached out like 2 weeks ago to Dr. Rose about the morning traffic. A couple parents reached out to me and just said it was a little crazy and hectic. However, the last week and a half, they said it's been great. So I don't know what changes were made on Kelly's end or...
Yeah, Kelly and I discussed it, and Ms. Rosado came up with a few things to help out and actually put another reminder through. And we're going to look at even painting that curb, because they should be pulling all the way down, and they just get to that front spot and they stop. So even painting the curb in front to show like, this is the zone where you pull all the way down, maybe even a little sign there, just pull down and further.
And it's not easy. I mean, I've done some drop-offs when I'm off from work with my kids, and it only takes one person, doesn't necessarily have to be our personnel. One parent parks the wrong way, waits too long, kid forgets his or her school bag. Like, there's a lot of variables, but I only just pass along the email because of from a concerned parent. But definitely heard some good news about the last week and a half.
Thank you. And
That's
thank
all
you
I
to
have.
Ms. Rosato for,
Thank you.
she's
My
on the
favorite
ground out
time
there
of
helping
day.
it out.
I'll be out there tomorrow if anyone
Mr.
wants to
Peralta,
come.
anything?
Yeah, just want to let everybody know the pole barn was going to be going up in a week or two. Okay, so we're getting ready for that. And piggybacking off of Mr. Collins, we did put some new lights in front of the school. And we're going to probably do a couple here to dress it up. And they look really nice. I don't know if anybody's going to pass there, but they look really good. So in a couple of weeks, we should have the pole barn as far as the weather goes. So, and that's all I have right now.
All right, thank you. Mr. Chicoletti?
Yes, I'd like to introduce Mr. Trulove. He's going to be our solicitor. He has many years of experience in school law. I know it was kind of hectic, kind of apologize for not all of us doing that in the beginning, but you're welcome here. And
Thank you.
how many years have you been a solicitor?
I've been a solicitor altogether, 16 in Bristol Township, 7, almost 8 in Morrisville, and then as a lawyer, I've been working for 36 years, so
Seen it all.
just about.
Welcome.
Thank you. I appreciate it. And I really enjoyed meeting everybody and hitting the ground running. Dr. Minnie and Mr. McHugh have been both very helpful to me, and I look forward to working with everybody. Thank you.
That's all, Mr. Chairman.
Spalafko?
Welcome, Dave.
Thank you.
No, I'm good. John, I just got a question. I think I probably went over this once or twice before. This fountain out here, is that our property or?
Actually, that fountain is on borough property. Yeah, it is. It is.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if they have a problem taking care of it or if it's, too cold right now. The light's out. I hope there's no stagnant water in there or anything. I mean, maybe.
Get yours to take a look, Chris. Get yours to.
Just take a look. I mean, if it's.
It's the borough property though, right?
Yes.
I think they shut that off.
You know, maybe they give them a call or something or whatever.
Yeah, just take a look at it.
There's a light right there too that's dark.
Well, I know that they used to light it up
Yeah.
like for autism and
Well, I
stuff
mean,
like
even,
that.
even, I think unless it's been fixed now, when I go out, I'll check, but it was dark right in that corner there. So, if they need our help or we can help them out, they help us out. If it's, I'll check it.
Yeah, well, they were saying about the lights at the high school, it really does
Oh, yeah.
make it stand out. Maybe we could throw one of them right out there to make it light.
Outstanding job with the
Yeah.
lighting up there. The guys did a good job, and it's long overdue. I mean, plus with the trees being trimmed back and everything, safety and security, basketball games or whatever, it really looks good. And the school, the name of the school lit up on the
Yeah.
walls, but it really looks awesome, so it looks great. Great job by the guys.
Mr. Rusin?
Yeah, that lighting that we're talking about, that is beautiful, the way they did it, and it's done in-house. There was no outside contractors that was doing this, so it was our men doing it, so, but I just want to congratulate them on a great job.
All right.
That's all.
Ms. Pagliari?
I just want to congratulate them also. It looks
does.
phenomenal at the high school. Really looks great.
Okay, the only thing I have is I just would like to update the public and the rest of the board, and I don't know if you're familiar, but on last Friday, one of our Head Start locations from the IU is very, very similar to what we have at our administrative building, but this was one up in Quakertown, and about 6 or 7 o'clock at night, it caught fire and burnt to the ground.
Wow.
Okay, it was a total loss in between the fire and the smoke and the water. But we were faced with a situation where we had about 80 kids, mostly pre-K, Head Start kids, 40 Head Start kids, a lot of kids, a smaller autistic class, and some kids that need services now are all displaced. And I'm just pleased to announce that yesterday, those kids were back what Quakertown School District did is they went into a wing of they have a sixth grade building just dedicated to the sixth graders. Because the kids that we were in our program were really kind of Quakertown, Penn Ridge, Palisades kids. So Quakertown said, we're going to combine some classes, opened up 6 classrooms. We got in there on Sunday and cleaned them up, set them up, kind of recreated almost the same exact classroom environment for the kids, and they went to school yesterday. So, and the reason why I say this is because, we have that facility. And, what would we do? What would we? So it's a good thing to know that the IU now really, so many people above and beyond, their facilities people, their IT people, the teachers that just come from really a devastating loss to really less than a week later, and kids that really do need to be in school every day. When those kids miss school, it's a lot. So that's a really good thing, and even though the people from the IU aren't here today, I really want to congratulate them, and it just made me pause because I know that we, God forbid, but someday we could be in the same situation. And the way they acted and got things moving is just really a great effort by everybody. So with that, our next meeting will be on Thursday, February 20th. Are you looking at me like you need something? No?
No.
Anything else? If not, can I get a motion to adjourn?
Mr. Chairman, make a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn, second?
Second.
Well, meeting is adjourned.